y'all, today I have another really thorough flip through and review for you guys. We're going to be looking at a Montessori math program for levels pre-K through 3rd grade by Shiller Learning. Let's get into it. First of all, I want to say welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Kaela. I am a homeschool grad turned homeschool mom. I currently have 2 daughters in 2nd grade and kindergarten, and we have another new little homeschooler on the way due in July. I love to share resources and reviews with you guys, as well as what's going on in our personal homeschool journey with our family. We focus on secular resources on this channel. I also love to share all about mama life and homemaking, so if any of that sounds interesting to you, I hope you'll consider clicking that subscribe button and turning on notifications by clicking the bell so you don't miss a thing around here. If you're on Instagram, go ahead and say hello over there as well. I definitely share more behind the scenes, day-to-day stuff on Instagram, and I would love to see you there. Okay, y'all, so most of the time, the resources, the flip throughs, the reviews that I am sharing on my channel are products that I have acquired for our homeschool or that we are currently using in our homeschool. Today is going to be a little bit different. I have been gifted this math program in exchange for my honest review. I want to share it with y'all, even though it is not a math program that we are going to be using in our homeschool personally. I did take a thorough look at it, I tried it out, and I want to make sure that I share it with y'all. Just because something might not be the best fit for me and my family doesn't mean that it might not be the perfect fit for you and your family. And so I think it's important for me to share products and resources when I have the opportunity, even if they are things that I'm not personally using. They might benefit you. They might be exactly what you are looking for. So with that being said, let's take a look at this math program by Shiller Learning. Shiller Learning makes curricula and resources that are specific for homeschoolers and are specific to the Montessori style of education. They offer a wide range of products. Their 2 focuses are going to be math and language arts. One of the options that they have is a large math kit. This kit is huge, y'all. It showed up on my doorstep in a massive box that I could have fit both of my children into. It was huge. But this kit promises to be everything that you will need for pre-K through 3rd grade. So this kit is meant to last for 4 full years of learning. So you're going to have all of the supplies, all of the manipulatives, everything that you need for 4 years and 4 different levels. I am going to flip the camera around and show you everything that comes with this kit, everything that was sent to me. And I will also do a flip through of the books and resources that come with it. And then we will chat a little bit about my thoughts on it and who I think this curriculum will be great for. As always, I will have everything linked in the description box below. So make sure that you go check that out if you're interested in learning more about Shiller Learning or more about me and my channel or anything that you hear about today. It's going to be down there. Okay, guys, so this is everything that you will receive in this kit all laid out. So we have our decimal manipulatives. We have our 1 units, our 10 units, and there are several of these. This is our 1000 cube, and then obviously we have more of those that are paper in this bag here. And then these are our hundreds right here, all in our nice wooden tray. They have included this foam ball. This is something that will be used for sort of like fun math drilling with addition facts or subtraction or multiplication facts, that kind of thing. We have our tangram set with their bag, 4 colors, several shapes, including hearts, which a lot of tangram sets don't include hearts, so that's kind of cool. They've included some basic school supplies. So we have a pencil, a ruler, some crayons, There are a lot of coloring activities in the lessons, especially I saw a lot of them in level 1, so that was nice of them to include the crayons. We have our plastic coins. We have our domino set. These are wooden dominoes. Balance scale, some measuring pitchers in 2 different sizes. Our clock. They also have this little standing mirror, and I have seen that this is used for symmetry lessons. We have some dice, and then we have these really quality number tiles and place value cards that come in their little cases with sliding covers. These are a nice sturdy plastic tile. And same with these. And then back here we have our actual lesson supplies. So we have the parent guide, we have a pack of sheets. They've included a binder for you to keep your teaching materials in. And then we have our actual lesson books. 1, 2, and 3. And then underneath all of these things is the learning mat that is also included in this kit. You can see that it is quite large, and they encourage you to do your math work Montessori style. So on this mat, preferably on the floor. You could put this on the table. It is a very large, plush, felt feeling mat. Okay guys, just wanted to do a quick look at the teaching sheets that will come with this kit with your binder. So we have completed worksheets, several of those, test review sheets, worksheets. So they've included a whole big old stack of your worksheets. And these are just very simply designed. I also just wanted to show you that the parent guide is really slim. They are all about making this very easy for you to get started and implement this program, this curriculum with your kids right away. So they have a very concise parent guide that will help you get started. And I do appreciate that. I appreciate that they have kept things minimal and concise, because sometimes that can be the most overwhelming part of starting a new curriculum, is reading all of the text for the parent or instructor. All right, so let's take a closer look at your lesson books. It might appear that this is like first grade, second grade, third grade, but that is not how the program is laid out or how it's designed. These books are meant to get you through from pre-K level, so around age 4, all the way through third grade, so around age 8 or 9. You would start with level 1, work at the child's pace until you complete it and can go to this, and then same thing until you go to this. Then the follow-up to level 3 is they have another math kit that starts at level 4 and goes up to pre-algebra math. All right, so let's look at these books one at a time, starting with level 1. And these books do include, right in this one book, all of your consumable student pages, other than the sort of generic practice pages that I already showed you. It has all of your scripted lessons for the instructor, and it also includes review and tests right here in this one book. All right, so when we open the book, we'll have a quick start guide. Here are our table of contents. Now this is quite an extensive table of contents. I'll let you take a look at all of the concepts that are covered in this initial level 1. You'll notice it goes up to 196 lessons. So this is not divided by weeks. This book is meant to last as long as the child needs to get through all of these 196 lessons. For most kids, that's probably going to be more than 1 year. This is meant to be maybe your pre-K year, your kinder year, maybe a little of your first grade year, would all be out of this one book, depending on the pace that is set by your child or your student. We have a nice introduction here. It's going to tell you how to use those completed worksheets that I showed you earlier. It also is going to talk about how you can get free downloads of all the consumable pages. So again, if your child uses up everything consumable in this first book, you can easily get replacements for another child. They talk about how much time it typically takes per day. So they recommend 15 minutes for a 3 or 4-year-old, and then adding 5 minutes for every year that the child gets older beyond age 4. So your 5-year-old might be 20 minutes a day, your 6-year-old might be 25 minutes a day, and so on. That's their recommendation. But again, there's no rules. Maria Montessori says, follow the child. Here we have a concise little guide and best practices for how the curriculum is designed. There is 0 lesson prep. You literally read what is in quotes. So I'll show you that. It is a scripted math curricula. Lessons vary in length and complexity. Some can be over in a few minutes. Others may take a few days to complete. This is all going to depend on the student. They recommend using the work mat whenever possible to provide focus. They say it's okay to skip a lesson if your student is not developmentally ready for it. So that is, again, something kind of unique about this math curricula. They really encourage you to make this work for the individual child. Now, here is something that you're going to see repeated in every lesson. This is their 3-period lesson. So when you're introducing a new concept, you would follow these 3 steps each time. This is show me and what is it. So here in this example, when you're doing this is, you just show your student a hexagon and say, this is a hexagon. Then for the show me step, you may show me the hexagon. And then what is, you would say, what is this called? They are really big on the wording that you use with your child. Instead of saying you need to, you should, you ought to, they prefer to use the word may. So they kind of have an explanation of why that is a big value for them here. They also talk about how the student might start to or want to study and learn on their own if they're able to read on their own. So that is an option if you want to try to adapt this to make it more independent for your child. They also explain the review tests here, what the purpose of them is, and how to use them. So that's super helpful. And again, those are built right into this book. Then we just go straight into our lessons. So lesson 1, you're introducing the work mat. Lesson 2 and 3, you're working with some shapes. 4, you're working with counting with shapes. 5, counting by sound without numbers. So in this lesson, they're doing clapping for counting. Then they're learning their left from their right in lesson 6. They do include songs with the lyrics right into the lesson, and these songs are being pulled from the Math Songs CD that came with our kit. You'll notice with each lesson there are parts in quotes. That is your script. It tells you exactly what to do, what manipulative to pick up, what to say, and it has all of that laid out for you. Now, some pages in the book like this are going to be consumable. Your child's going to be drawing or coloring right on the page. So that's where it's important to possibly download duplicates if you need them for multiple kids. Here is our first review test. It's going to tell you exactly how to score that. And then I already showed you our separate paper for the test scoring that's included in the kit in your teacher's binder. And then in the very back of the lesson book, you do have a concept index. This is going to be really helpful if you're not sure exactly where to place your child, if you're coming from another math curricula that of course is going to teach things differently in different order. It won't align perfectly. You can come to this index and say, okay, I know we haven't covered money, or I know we need to work on comparison or subtraction or skip counting or anything like that, and it will tell you what lessons cover that concept. Okay, so let's look at lesson book 2. Lesson book 2 has 151 lessons, and that's including all of your review tests. You'll get that same introduction with all the same information as the first lesson book, and then you will just start off right with lesson 1. So I'll just do a quick flip through. In the back of the book, we have the same concept index. And then we also have a manipulative index. So this tells you which manipulatives from Shiller Learning you are using for each lesson. It's kind of like a supply list, if you will. And then we have an extra completed worksheet that you could make copies of if you need to. But again, we have a lot of copies already included with the math kit. If you were to buy this book a la carte, you'd have this to scan and print as many copies as you need. And then for lesson book 3, our table of contents looks a little different. It's divided into sections for us that each end with a review test. Just a slight difference there from the first 2 books. Lesson book 3 has 113 lessons, including your review tests. You'll have the same introduction and then jump right in to your lesson. I also want to be clear that I personally am not a Montessori homeschooler. I have very, very little knowledge of Montessori education. So if you look at this program, if you look at this curricula creator, and you decide this is not Montessori, please don't at me, okay? What I personally do know about Montessori is that it's all about creating a learning environment for the child to interact with and learn freely in that environment. What I also know about Montessori is that some of the elements that are used to create that learning environment, specific tools, specific manipulatives, specific beautiful displays for those tools and manipulatives, the price tags can be extremely intimidating. So I definitely appreciate where Shiller Learning is coming from in trying to make that style, that focus on the learning environment, really affordable and accessible for families to use at home. So here's a few interesting things about this math program. It is neither exclusively spiral or exclusively mastery based. Shiller Math, Shiller Learning says that they do a combination of both the mastery and the spiral way of learning math. It's my opinion that math is sort of naturally spirally anyway. Is spirally a word? Math is one of those subjects where you are naturally going to be revisiting concepts that you've previously learned as you deepen your understanding, learn to apply the knowledge to more and more complex concepts, right? So to me, math just kind of naturally spirals and builds on itself. The big difference that we're referring to with curricula when we're talking about spiral versus mastery is how long your student, your child is going to be working with the same concept. Now, some kids do really well working with the same concept over and over for several lessons or for several weeks. That's more of a mastery approach. Other kids, that might feel really boring, repetitive, tedious to them. They might get exhausted of it quickly. They might respond better to a spiral approach where they are visiting a concept, then going to another concept, then another, and then back to that original one over and over and over. When I look at the lesson books, it does feel very spiral to me, But again, Shiller Learning says that they're doing the combination of spiral and mastery. One of the things that I've actually taken away from testing out this curricula is using their work mat that they include in this kit. It might seem like a trivial thing to set out a work mat for your child to do their math lesson on. Why not just do it at the table? Why not just do it on the floor or on a rug? I certainly felt that way before I actually tried out the mat. But Shiller Learning is completely correct when they say that laying out that mat, it just does something. It immediately provides an area of focus. It's like, this is my zone. It's time to work on math, and we are in the math work zone now. And I've noticed a huge difference with my kids. They are much more focused on their lesson. They really enjoy working on the mat. And another bonus, when we're working with manipulatives, they are far less likely to get lost or misplaced on the floor or strewn off the table if we are using that mat. It is a nice thick felt material that kind of holds everything onto it. So I really, really like that. And I plan on continuing to use that mat with our math lessons whenever we're working with manipulatives. All right, so who do I think this curriculum is for? I think this curriculum is going to be perfect if you are looking for something in a Montessori style that is easy to implement and affordable for your homeschool. I also think that this is going to be a great choice for families with multiple kids at multiple grade levels who are looking to get the most bang for their buck. You can literally get 4 grade levels at once, all of the supplies sent to your home, and be able to teach different levels all out of the same kit. So that's a huge bonus. If your child really needs that hands-on learning for math, they're not workbook kids, they really need that focused hands-on kinesthetic learning, this math program might be perfect for them. If you are a parent who feels intimidated to teach math, this program might work really well for you because it is fully scripted. You don't have to stress about how to say things, how to explain concepts. There's zero prep in this curricula. It is open and go. That's definitely going to increase your ease of use. Who do I think this curriculum will not work for? I don't think this curriculum is going to work well for your family if you are looking for a way to outsource math. This math program is meant to be done with the parent and the child together. Obviously, if your family just doesn't jive with anything Montessori or Montessori inspired, this probably isn't going to be the program for you. If you really don't like a lot of math manipulatives or small parts in your home, if you prefer to do math on the computer or in a workbook, even if you're doing it with your child just for ease of use, you prefer it to be in a book or on a screen, this probably isn't the program for you. Now, obviously, this math program comes as a big kit that's supposed to give you everything for 4 years, right? 4 different levels. But you can buy things a la carte individually. So if you wanted to try out the program before you commit to the big math kit, you can definitely do that. Okay, so let's talk about me personally in my homeschool, what we did with this math program, and why it's not going to work for us long term. If you've been around on my channel, you know that I am completely in love with Singapore Math, specifically their Dimensions program. We've been using it for 2 years and it works really well for both of my kids. It works really well for me and how I like to teach and handle math. I'm always open to try new things, even with math. But yeah, I tried this, and Singapore Dimensions is still where it's at for me and for us, for our homeschool, for our family. I have nothing bad to say about this program. I think it's a really great program, and we did enjoy the portions of it that we tried out. We're just like firmly in a relationship with Singapore Dimensions. Like, that's it for us, at least right now. Never say never, right? Like next year I might say, you know what, we're quitting, we're switching to something else. But for right now, that is just where our heart is with math. It just jives perfectly with everyone in our homeschool. So that's where we're going to stay. And as wonderful and beautiful and well done as this math program is, it just wasn't enough for us to want to switch over. All right, y'all. So that is it for this review. I am so grateful that I was able to try out this math program. I am especially grateful to have all of these beautiful manipulatives at my disposal. The manipulatives will be great to use with any math program. They are very well designed, high quality, and yeah, I'm super excited to have them in our homeschool. If you have any questions at all about Shiller Learning or this specific Math Kit 1 that I showed you today, please drop them in the comments and I will try my best to help you out with that. I'd also just love to hear, what are you using for math? What do you love for math right now in your homeschool? Or are you looking to make a change in the new school year? Are you looking for a new math curricula? And if so, which ones are you looking at? Let me know. Let's chat about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.